Welcome to the Gospel Doctrine Helps class, where we provide you with insights, quotes, references, and help for your gospel doctrine class.
I had a few minutes while I was studying the scriptures this morning, and I thought, you know what, I can make a quick video. I can share something. It may not be extremely profound to you, it may not be great, but it may be simple enough that it may be able to pierce your heart. And if the Spirit enlightens your minds and quickens your understanding, then perhaps this can be of worth to you. This week we're studying in the book of Jacob chapter 1 through 4. I want to just begin in the book of Jacob. If you've got your scriptures, follow along with me. And in verse 2 it says, "And he gave me," and the he there is speaking of Nephi. "He, Nephi, gave me, Jacob, a commandment that I should write upon these plates a few of the things which I considered to be most precious, that I should not touch, save it were lightly, concerning the history of this people, which are called the people of Nephi." This is Jacob chapter 1, verse 2. This is a profound verse, although many people will read it and just gloss over it. What Jacob is telling us is that he received a commandment. He received specific instruction from Nephi. Nephi, who was a prophet of God, a man who stood in the presence of God, who entertained angels, who received revelations. He's giving these plates, or this book, to Jacob. And Jacob is receiving a commandment, and the commandment is he should write a few of the things which Jacob considered to be most precious. Ask yourself, as you read the few chapters that we have of the book of Jacob, ask yourself, what is most precious that you read? What verses, what words speak to you? What words resonate with your soul? What is most precious to you? Why was it most precious to him? So in other words, you, I, all of us, we all live lives that consist of many hours, of many days. Some of us live 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 plus years. During those years, if you could distill your wisdom, your understanding, the things that have enlightened or quickened your mind, the things that you consider most precious, what would you write down? And then have you written that down in your own personal history, or in your journal, or in your diary? That's what Jacob here is doing. He received the commandment, and he's not going to talk about his history. He's going to touch that lightly. I mean, just very, very briefly. He's going to give you some context, but just a little bit, because he doesn't want to waste your time. He doesn't want to waste my time. He doesn't want to waste our time. He wants to give us the things that are most precious. What is most precious in the book of Jacob? I can't help but when I read those words, most precious, think of a verse in 2 Nephi, chapter 2, verse 8. This is the words of 2 Nephi chapter 2, verse 8. He says, "Wherefore, how great the importance to make these things known unto the inhabitants of the earth, that they may know that there is no flesh that can dwell in the presence of God, save it be through the merits and mercy and grace of the Holy Messiah, who layeth down his life according to the flesh, and taketh it again by the power of the Spirit, that he may bring to pass the resurrection of the dead, being the first that should rise." You see, what is most important to me would be how great the importance is to make known that you, that me, that all of us, none of us can enter into the presence of God, save it be through the merits and mercy and grace of Jesus Christ, who is our Savior. That's one of the things I would think that when you read the words of Jacob, Jacob would say to you. He would testify to you of Christ. And so when you read through his words, I wonder if you can find his testimony of Christ. There's not a whole lot we can do while we're here on the earth. We have time, but we can waste it away as easily as we can make it productive. we can take that time that we are perhaps doing something that is less important and spend it on something that is so great and so important that can affect not just your brother or your sister or your aunt or your uncle or your niece or your nephew or your mom or your dad or your children, but it can affect generations to come. I would invite you, I would challenge you, I would exhort you to write down things that are most precious to you. Hunt them out, seek them out, and find them, and then share them with those that you love. Put them in a place that they can be recorded in writing so that people 500,000 plus years from now can read your words and know of your testimony and know of your conviction to the Lord. I hope you found this helpful. Thanks for watching.